Hello, learners. I want to welcome you to our business class today, and we're going to talk about Porter's 5 forces. These forces will affect the way your business plans its strategy for the next 3 to 5 years or even beyond. This is a theory that's very useful in business. It's not perfect, nothing is, but we're going to get right to it. So, Porter's 5, the objectives are to understand the competition of profitability and how they affect each other, discover areas of tension on business strategy, and we're going to discuss the limitations. This theory was created by Michael Porter, Harvard Business School in 1979. Now, I want you to remember that date because it will be very important to us in about 3 slides. Okay, so imagine you have a company and you are trying to make a plan to see how is your company going to grow and develop and where do I even start? So this gives you one place to start. Let's look at your buyers or your customers. When you're evaluating them, you know that they make certain demands. There are pressure to your company. They're very necessary, um, but they're a pressure to your company because they may want and expect a certain type of customer service, the price point, and they don't want things to change. Or if they do change, they want the price to always go down. So your company will have to consider the buyer in everything they do in their strategy in their next plan. Next, suppliers. Suppliers are crucial in your planning system because your suppliers, you contract with them and they bring you the raw materials you need to develop your product and sell your product. So if you have no suppliers, you have no product to sell. So the thing is that your suppliers have pressure on you because they want higher prices for them and to give you as little as possible so they could sell it somewhere else. So suppliers are going to be a pressure and buyers. And if you'll notice, I colored them green because they're a little bit related in that you and your company, you can't really control them, but you have a choice. You can advertise to certain demographics or certain areas. You can set your price point so that it's attractive to the people that have the most disposable income. Or for your suppliers, you have a little bit of control on who you can do business with. If you don't like a certain company, you don't like how they're supplying you with the raw materials, you can choose another one. Now, we cannot control these two, but we may have to offer discounts to attract new buyers, or limited supply or suppliers may cause challenges. So these are the two pressures that the business owner does have somewhat of a choice. Now, substitutes. Substitutes are businesses that are similar to yours but cheaper. And so your buyers may look over here and say, hey, there's something that's not quite what this high quality business is offering me, but I think that I want to buy their substitute good. So now your company needs to try to draw back and win back those people who have settled for substitutes. And so that's going to be a pressure that you'll need to consider. And that kind of relates a little bit to buyers over here. Now, new entrants into the business world that are similar to you, they will cause a little bit of pressure to you because they're new and they're bright and shiny, and people love bright and shiny new things. And so they want to try a new brand, or they're a little tired of they're tired of the way you do your advertising, and here's some really fabulous advertising here for this new entrant. So that's going to be a pressure for your company to stay new and stay current. Now, your rivals are some serious pressure, might be pressure all the time because they have the same quality as you and they're easily matched with you, but you have something that's unique to your business. Now, the rivals, I'm thinking of Coke and Pepsi, or Nike and Adidas, or some other companies like that are very similar, but they're rivals. So that's a pressure that you will have in your business as you make your 3 to 5 year plan. You need to consider all of these, and also some of these have to do with competition. These three have to do with competition, the three orangey, pinky ones. And as competition goes up, your profitability will go down because there's just only so much pie to go around. So that's something that you don't really have a lot of control over, but you do have control over how you can run your business, how economical you can be, and what a great product you can have and advertise. And finally, limitations. So, one of the limitations is that partnerships with large companies may allow your competitors to expand farther than you can. They just have deeper pockets. Let's say I am your competitor and I partnered with a transportation company like FedEx, and FedEx gave me free shipping on everything. So, that would be very hard for you to overcome. So, especially globally, partnerships made a big difference, and you can't forget that when you're looking at Porter's Five, is that it was written at a time before so much globalization was happening, and that's why it's a limitation now because it didn't consider the global prospect. Well, the second limitation is that all forces are not equal and they may pull at different rates. For example, some time of the year your suppliers may run short and so the price will go up. Or maybe something happens and there's a bunch of some new technology, some new entrance to your segment. So then you'll have to really focus on one aspect, but they're not all the same. All 5 aspects are not all the same, and they pull at different rates. And finally, industries are not so clearly defined anymore. Like if I partnered with a transportation industry and I'm a food industry, then what's my identity? Who am I competing with? Am I competing with the transportation or the food? It's hard to tell because companies are so linked, and so their identity is so huge. So these are the 3 limitations that you need to take these into consideration with Porter's 5 because they're all still very important. So the 5 are buyers, substitutes, new entrants, rivals, and suppliers. And of course, we need to always remember in our business class, as competition goes up, profitability goes down. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, just let me know.